This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, officially welcome to our webinar on your visa guidance, which you would have all been sent yesterday, and how to apply for your Thailand pass and all of your arrival details to go through absolutely everything to get you here in March. So a quick overview of everything we are going to go through. So we'll be talking about visas in general and the different visa types, because not everybody will have the same visa type, and then the application in general for your visa. Then we'll go over booking your flights, your quarantine and your insurance, which will be your first step, and also your Thailand pass. Then a little to-do list in order. So first, we are recommending everybody to book their flights, insurance and quarantine, because you will need these documents in a screenshot for the application of your visa and your Thailand pass. So please book your flights, insurance, quarantine first, and then you can book your visa and Thailand pass together. They're all linked together. And then the only thing you need to remember after that is your PCR test before you fly. So legally it's 72 hours, but we always recommend 48 hours just to give you a little extra time. And some airports such as Singapore, major transit airport, requires you to have a test 48 hours before, not 72. So that's why we are requesting that one. So there are 4 different types of visas that you will have received information for yesterday. The first one is the visa exemption. This one is for all South Africans. Then we have the tourist visa. A lot of people will be entering on this 60-day tourist visa. But non-B visas for those of you who are very well prepared with your documents and a school has already decided to do paperwork for you. And then the last one is a non-O visa for anybody who can only stay a very short amount of time. It's only a 3-month visa, but you will be given your guidance depending on what visa suits you. So please don't refer to your friend's visa. Make sure you select your email and everything that we send you personally.
Yes, for visa exemption, as Jasmine said, it's available, it's applicable for the South African people. As in the past, the South African people has applied the visa before, and it was written on the visa that it cannot change to other visa types. So we decide for you to come as a visa exemption. And once you arrive Thailand, you will got the visa stamp that it's 30 days staying in Thailand, and then you can extend in Thailand for another 30 days. However, you will need to do the Thailand pass like the other people. Thailand pass is the must for everyone to enter Thailand. The following countries, people, the US, UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, you will come with the 60 days tourist visa. But it depends on your circumstance, but mostly you come as a 60 days tourist visa. I will go for the overview of tourist visa. It's normally you can come to Thailand as a free visa, but that visa it's only 30 days. So this time you will need 60 days. That's why you need to apply the visa. And we require you to have the passport validity. It's not less than 6 months left. And also we need 1 full page on your passport, the blank page. And also the people from the US, UK, and Canada, you can apply the visa online. So it is an e-visa. And the people from the Australian and New Zealand, you have to apply it by the post, or you present it at the embassy in person. And you have to be in Australia or New Zealand while you have this application. Also, it needs to apply before your travel date, at least 15 working days to submit the e-visa or the mail to the embassy. So the tourist visa will need the exit flight that it, as you are the tourist, so you have to have the proof that you will exit Thailand, which is the visa time frame. So we recommend you to book the flight to our neighboring country like Cambodia or Laos.
And the non-B and non-O visas. So there's only a few people that have got these visas to enter. The non-B visa is a visa designed for your work rights here in Thailand. Everybody will eventually get one of these. The people who are coming over on these had all their documents well in advance, so the school was able to process you prior to your arrival. For this visa, you need all of the documents from this school. So the school is going to process a lot of things with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Immigration to get your work permit and your working visa. So you will receive a whole bunch of documents in Thai from us in potentially a week to 2 weeks. They will be ordered in exactly what they are, and then you will send this in just like the tourist visa, but under the non-B section. So it's very similar to the tourist visa, just a different category. So the same as the tourist visa, USA, Canada, and UK can apply only via the online portal. So you all are able to do e-visas. And then Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, if you get a non-B visa, will have to apply manually, either through the post, you can get a return envelope, or you can head into the embassy if they're allowing it at the time with COVID. Then with the non-O visa, this is a volunteer visa. So this is for anybody who may be coming over very short time. And this visa, you will also need some documentation from us to legally be able to volunteer teach. And it's only worth 3 months, and it's also done through the same portal. USA, UK, and Canada will apply online. Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa will have to apply manually. And you also need to just wait for the paperwork to come through before you can start this process. Please remember though that you're not getting the short straw no matter what visa you have. Every single visa expires. So this is the exemption, the tourist visa, the non-B, and the non-O. The exemption and tourist visa can be extended once, and the non-B can be extended multiple times. But after both of the tourist categories, so the visa exemption and the tourist visa have expired for the second extension, you will go on to your non-B visa and it can be extended multiple times. So don't worry if you're worried about having to extend and somebody else isn't. Everybody will have to extend their visa at some point. Some frequently asked questions about the application, particularly the online application. Sometimes they ask some strange or repetitive things of you. So yes, they would like you to take a selfie with your passport, holding it up with your face smiling. They also ask for you to upload every stamp page in your passport just to show where you've been living for the last 12 months or where you've been for the last 12 months. Sometimes they ask you for a letter of invitation. You will not need this. So most people who book a trip overseas as a tourist, they just book a hotel reservation. Some people are lucky enough to have friends in that country that can invite them. This is what this section is asking. If you do have a friend and they are inviting you, please just pop down your hotel booking in this section. But if you do have any problems, let us know and we'll be able to help you out. And then another question that comes up in a few sections where they're asking where you live or the jurisdiction of your embassy relating to your address. This can be written in various ways. Please just pop down your driver's license or your passport. All they really want is a legal document that shows where you live, because some countries have multiple embassies and they are trying to work out which one to send your documents to. So you'll never really know which embassy aligns with where you live. They just want to see where you live so they can work it out for you.
Okay, for the quarantine, now the test and go scheme is available. So this the website of Thailand Pass, when you choose the Thailand Pass, it have the test and go on the left hand side. So at first you need to book the flight to arrive in Thailand. We recommend the quarantine in Bangkok as a test and go scheme. So please arrive to Thailand on before 5:30 on 22nd of March. And also, if you prefer the Phuket test and go, you can do that as well. But we will require you to come to Bangkok on the 27th of March after your second test day in Phuket. So you will be picked up on the 28th of March with other people to Hua Hin. And don't arrive before the 16th of March for the people who come as a tourist visa, and the visa exemption don't arrive before the 22nd of March. This is, we need the time for the school to process the change visa type. So you will have more time left. And we recommend you to book flight with the airline directly or with the agent that you trust. They will not have the penalty charge if you need to change the flight. Also, the booking for quarantine hotel, we will send you the link of the hotel list, which is they require you to stay in the Char Extra Plus hotel for 2 nights of the booking. The day one booking must include the RT-PCR test on the first day and include the airport transfer from the airport to the hospital that you test the PCR, and then they will drop you at the hotel. And day 5, it must include the room reservation and the second RT-PCR test. And day 1 and day 5, it can be a different hotel. As the hotel also screen your Thailand pass, so please book it all together at the directly with the hotel, which include the hotel accommodation, the airport transfer, and 2 times of the RT-PCR test. And then after book the flight, book the hotel quarantine, please purchase the insurance, which is need to cover the entire length of stay in Thailand for you. Also have a minimum coverage at 50,000 US dollar and specified so with COVID-19 treatment. And please make sure that the insurance company give you the whole document of the details that the medical coverage and not just the receipt, as you need to submit, and we will need the whole document from you as well.
So applying for your e-visa, if you are from the US, UK, or Canada. So this is the website, which we've sent you in the documents yesterday also. You can all apply through this one. It's got the steps below. You just have to create an account first and then follow all the questions and attach some of the documents, and you'll be sent an approval email in future. But also please do check your email that you've got some sort of, you've applied email to begin with, so it's definitely gone through. Whether you're applying the online portal or not, you will need to submit a photograph. If you're applying online, you can take a photo of a photo as long as it's nice and clear, and it is the usual passport size, your head facing the front, glasses off, good lighting, all the usual stuff. And then also a scan of your passport ID page, which most of you have sent to us already, so you've got this one ready to go. And then it will ask for your employment details also. It will ask for your hotel quarantine, so your address and your booking receipt. The Thai Pass will also require this in a screenshot or in written form, so please have this ready to go.
And on the step 3, as you see that you will need to support, you need to submit the supporting documents, which are the declaration form. You can download this form and then you fill it and upload it back to the visa application. And also they ask for your flight details to arrive Thailand and the exit flight from Thailand to another, like the tourist visa needs for the proof that you are the tourist. So as I mentioned before, to show this to the immigration, maybe you got asked, and why you apply on the visa, they will ask you about the exit flight as well. So maybe you book the flight to our neighboring countries. Also, the accommodation documents on the quarantine hotel details and the financial evidence. You need the bank statement that you must have at least 700 US dollar in the bank statement. And also once you arrive here, the custom might randomly check. So please make sure if you can bring the cash of 700 US dollar with you to show them. and to have the legal resident in the country that you apply for the visa. If you are the citizen of the visa of the people that you apply on that country, you can submit the passport page. But if you are applying in the country that you are not the citizen, you can submit the visa that you have.
So this is a little map of your embassy jurisdiction in the US. So anybody in the orange states, your embassy is New York. This is for your legalized degree and your visa application. Anybody in the blue colors states, your Washington, DC. The yellow is Chicago and the green is LA. Just so you know, this is why they keep asking for your address. They need to send everything to be processed through this embassy for you. Then on this page, we've got Canada. So you've got 2 different embassies it can be sent to. Same deal, why they're asking. And then for the UK and Ireland, Wales, Scotland, all sent to London. Then you just need to pay your visa fee at the end. And for Australia and New Zealand, yours will be sent through the mail. So you will send your passport off in the mail and it will have a physical photo of yourself. So you can get these done at your local post office or Officeworks. Then you've got your application form and your declaration form in the envelope also. Your insurance, you'll also have a return envelope. So it can be sent back to you. And your hotel information and your bank statement as well. It may feel a little scary sending your passport off in the mail if they don't allow you to go into an embassy, or if it's just easier for you to send it in the mail. Don't worry, it's all done through the registered Australian or New Zealand post. It can have a tracking number and it will be sent back to you quite quickly at the moment from what I've been hearing, but do let us know if you have any problems. This is just your proof of residential address in Australia. So this will be needed also for your quarantine. And your fee is $60, whether in Australia or New Zealand. This is the embassy you can send it to. There's Sydney, Canberra, and the embassy in Wellington for New Zealand also.
And after you your visa approved, for the people who got an e-visa, it's gonna be look like on the right-hand side document. So please print out this document to show the immigration once you arrive here. And the people from Australia and New Zealand, if your visa approved, it's gonna be put on your passport, and the passport will mail back to you. And after you apply the visa and book flight, book the hotel for quarantine, also purchasing the insurance, please apply the Thailand Pass to go on this website. And as Thailand Pass require at least 7 days in advance application, so they don't allow the people who travel urgently less than 1 day. But if someone needs the urgent traveling, can send an email to them. We recommend you to use the Gmail account to apply the Thailand Pass. So when you go to the Thailand Pass website, please select Test and Go scheme. And
then you have a list of things that you need to show. So for the Thailand Pass, you'll need to submit a photo of your passport. It says visa, but they've never actually asked for it. So this could change in future, but you shouldn't need your visa at all. So you can apply for your Thailand Pass and your visa on the same day. So you don't need either of them to show support. You only need your COVID vaccine, your insurance policy, and your hotel confirmation to be able to apply. Also, you should have your flights in advance as well. And then after you have your Thailand Pass, send it to us so we can just check over it. And then the only thing you need to do is get that COVID-19 test 48 hours, we suggest, before you fly. the law is 72 hours, but please do get the 48-hour one just to be safe.
Yes, and once it's approved, the Thailand pass will come like a QR code on the right-hand side. And before you fly, as Jasmine mentioned, that you need to do the RT-PCR test for COVID-19. So please make sure that it is RT-PCR test, not just PCR. And as legally, we require 72 hours, but we recommend 48 hours to be safe. And when you are at the airport, you will need to present the Thailand pass, also the RT-PCR test result, insurance, and also your visa. And once you arrive Thailand, when you are in the hotel for quarantine, please keep the TM6, which is the card that you were given from the immigration office. And please take a picture of that and send to us. This is the card of the TM6, and also present us the visa stamp on your passport as well. Okay, so we finished the presentation. Do you have any questions?
Just a quick one. You mentioned that the visa will ask us for our employment details. I'm guessing that's our current employment?
It will ask you, yes.
So that's current. It's nothing to do with Explore Asia employment or anything.
Correct.
Okay,
especially if you're coming over on a tourist visa, just remember you are a tourist until we change your visa over to a working visa when you go to your school. So I would not mention anything about the schooling or Explore Asia until we get that visa changed over after you're ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about anything at all?
Yeah. Hello. So,
Okay.
I also have a question. So, if you come on the visa exemption, the manual process of doing the non-B visa, you don't have to come back to your country, surely. Like, it's all done in Thailand. It's just through the post. Is that what you said?
If you're not already entering Thailand on a non-B visa, if you're entering on a visa exemption or a tourist visa, it's all done in country at the moment. So before COVID, people would have to just do a border run to a neighboring country, Cambodia, for 24 hours, come back with the non-B, because it was cheaper and easiest to do that. For the last almost 2 years, everybody has been getting their non-B in Thailand without having to leave. There's absolutely no way you would have to go back to South Africa. But once things start to normalize, which we don't expect it to happen by the start of your intake, but once it does, people will have to border run to change their visa, but not at the moment.
Okay. And then where does that get sent to? Like once you get it?
So when you're processing your non-B visa from a visa exemption or a tourist visa, your school does a whole bunch of paperwork for you to say that they would like to hire you. They send this through the Ministry of Education and then through the Ministry of Immigration, which do not communicate at all. And then you will get sent your non-B visa. It's only a 3-month visa to start. Then you'll have to apply for your work permit, which your school helps you with as well. So if you're getting all of these documents outside or inside Thailand, it's mostly your school that processes everything. You just have to pay the extension fee and the work permit fee. And then after you've completed 3 months of being on the non-B visa, you can extend that again for however long your contract is for, or even up to a year. You can extend after a year as well if you decide to stay in Thailand. So non-B is constantly extendable.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, just a quick question about the exit flights on the visa. So is it literally just like any flight, like a return flight on any date, or does it have to be anything a bit more specific?
we recommend you to book a flight to neighboring country, which is the cheapest flight that you can find. And if it's possible to be a changeable flight in case you need to do the visa run or if you like to traveling. Yeah, so we recommend you to find that options.
Cool, thank you.
In most cases, you will probably never take this flight. That's why we suggest to choose the cheapest one you can find. If you can change it to something that you can actually use, that's great. But the cheapest flights usually are non-changeable. So I came through as a teacher as well when I first started. When I booked my exit flight from Thailand, because I also entered on a tourist visa first, I booked my flight to Singapore because it was the cheapest at the time. And in my brain, I just put it as, okay, this is part of the cost to enter Thailand and I'll never get on that plane and let's just write it off. But it is legally enforced to enter Thailand on a tourist visa. You have to have an exit flight. The frustrating part is that sometimes you will get to immigration and they'll ask to see all your documents and they won't ask for that one. So I guess technically you would have purchased it for no reason, even though it is the law, because they never asked you. But the worst case scenario is that they can ask you if you don't have one booked, and then you need to book one then and there on the spot, and it could be double, triple the price.
I have another question. I don't know if I heard incorrectly, but did you guys say that we mustn't come before the 22nd?
If you're
Or can
South
we?
African, yes, we advise you don't come before the 22nd because you already have 30 days less than everybody else. So we just want you to have the most out of your visa to be able to change it onto a non-B visa without you having to leave Thailand, because you can only change that visa once. So we would like to give your school the most amount of time as possible. But if it's going to be a problem, please let us know.
No, not a problem necessarily. I just had like an idea to come down on the 15th of March so that I can like travel a little bit for that time. But I don't know now if that's.
I wouldn't recommend doing it. Thailand has 26 public holidays, and you guys are starting on the 28th of March, which is almost school holiday time. So each school, depending on where you get placed, will have a different amount of holiday period. It should be a month under normal circumstances, but because of COVID last term taking away from some schooling hours, some schools are running into the school holidays. Guarantee you will have Songkran off. So this is the 13th to the 16th of April. It's Thai New Year, so no schools are running. Most businesses are closed as well. So you will have a little bit of a holiday. So if you wanted to do some traveling, after you finish your course with us in Hue Hin, you will have some time most likely.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions at all?
Yeah, I have another one. So I'm just looking at options for I know you said that the certain hotels with like the transfers and everything all booked together is easier for the Thailand pass to authenticate. I'm just kind of looking at different hotels that are on the authenticated list, but I've been in touch with a couple of them and they say that they don't arrange the transfers and that I can get a SHAR Plus certified transfer, which I have found some. So they would be booked separately, but they're still all authenticated. I'm just wondering if I was to go ahead and kind of book the visa and the Thailand pass like literally today, would that kind of give me a safety barrier that they can authenticate everything in time, do you think? Or is it still dodgy ground?
You can't do that because it's the wrong order. So you need to book your flights, your hotel quarantine, transfers, tests, and insurance first, because your Thailand pass and visa asks to see them.
Yeah, I've kind of booked all of those, so it's okay.
No problem. You can go straight ahead. And if you have booked like a SHAR Plus transfer or your test separately, as long as they give you that certifying document, you can attach it all together. If you have any troubles with the visa system or the Thailand Pass system not accepting multiple documents, you can join them together on I Love PDF as well, the website
Okay.
I Love PDF.
Okay,
and then
great.
it's one document and very easy to send.
Thank you. Great. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
So can we assume that we can book our flights and everything now? We can go ahead with that?
Yes, yes.
Cool. And then can I ask Amy a question?
Hi,
If that's
yeah.
fine. When did you book your flight for? Like when are you leaving your country and getting to Thailand?
I'm leaving my country on the 18th and getting to Thailand on the 19th. Because I've kind of just decided to be a bit complicated and did the sandbox like the week in Phuket. Maybe don't listen to me. I've complicated things a little bit, but it was just what I really wanted to do, and it kind of worked out a lot cheaper for me, flights and everything wise, when I looked into it all. But it
Yes,
probably
no, same.
people. I don't know. So yeah, I'll be arriving in Phuket on the 19th. So I've got like a week and a day, which gives me just that little bit of comfortable leeway either side, to make sure I get everywhere in time, but not too long, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I also wanted to do the week sandbox thing in Phuket. And
No problem.
that's where my head was too.
Sure.
Well, let me
Okay,
know if
cool.
you do.
That's okay.
The
Pardon?
sandbox in Phuket is still available for the people who to choose that, but it needs 7 days that you
Yeah.
in Phuket only, and then you can exit after 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyra, if you want to message me on Facebook and ask me more questions, you're very welcome to.
Yes, and then if we do, well, you are definitely obviously doing the sandbox thing, and I think I'm going to do the same. So maybe we can link up.
That would be lovely. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, get in touch on Messenger then. Lovely.
Okay,
I highly recommend you guys using the Facebook group as well to meet up while you do have these quarantine periods of time to kill the time with somebody else who's in the same situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, thank you.
Any other questions at all? So I just wanted to add a little bit from this morning's session just regarding a few people's concerns. So one girl was a little concerned about entering Thailand. She said that a lot of flights arrive really late at night. When you enter Thailand, you don't need to worry about getting to anywhere by yourself or in the dark or finding your place, because you have this transfer to pick you up. So no one at the airport will be there for any reason other than arriving into Thailand or picking people up. It's very, very secure and monitored, as it's like the COVID spot where it could potentially be coming through international borders. So the person who will pick you up will have a sign with your name on it. You have your private transfer. No one else is in the car with you. They take you directly to your hotel. You have your test as soon as you get there. Then you go into your room. Your dinner will most likely be already in there and you're set for the night. And then when you wake up in the morning, you have your test results at some stage and breakfast ready for you, and then you are free to go. Another girl asked if we have suggestions for hotels in Phuket or Bangkok. We'll be writing these on the Facebook group also soon. And please do utilize the group. We are aware Facebook is a dying platform where we're from, but in an expat world in Thailand, it's thriving. They have groups for everything, course groups for teachers, groups for hiking, groups for ladies. It can really enhance your experience here and also help you out with your quarantine experience. So please do use this group also. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. So will you guys be letting us know closer to the time of like what time exactly we will be picked up on the 28th?
We will. Yeah. We are
And
just
where
finalizing.
exactly to meet?
Yep. So it will definitely be Suvarnabhumi Domestic Terminal in Bangkok at the airport. But please do not be flying in on that day because it will be early morning. So make sure no matter where you are traveling to Bangkok on the 27th. You stay one night wherever you like in Bangkok on the 27th. and then we pick you up from Suvarnabhumi domestic terminal on the 27th. You may be split into 3 groups that morning, so we can stagger our bus loads of people, so we're not overloading the hotel here in Hua Hin for getting everybody checked in, and then we'll start the program that day. So we'll release the times shortly, but it should start from maybe 7 a.m. till about 10 a.m. in the morning, and you'll be put into a categorized time for your personal pickup. So just something to be aware of.
There are some really cheap hotels just kind of in and around the airport. So yeah, just so people know that I found a few.
Yeah, especially when you don't need to test anymore. So you're just a normal customer in a hotel, very cheap.
And once we get there, if we get there a little bit earlier, like for the sandbox program, the sandbox thing,
Yep.
then we test when we get to Thailand, obviously. But after the sandbox and before we get to Bangkok to meet, we don't have to test again, right?
You will have just completed your test, so you should be able to use it for your flight. And you have your vaccination card, which they will require again. So you should be fine to go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Any other questions at all about anything? I'll just let the silence hurt a little longer.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to know, in terms of purchasing your medical insurance,
Yep.
how long would I need to purchase medical insurance?
So it will cover your entire length of stay. So if you can commit till after September, just make sure that it goes past that date. Someone this morning mentioned that some of the companies we've suggested don't really fit that date criteria. So if you are having any troubles, please let us know. If it's just a couple of days that it's short by, you may be able to extend here in Thailand. Another idea is to get a year's coverage, and if you have plans to travel anywhere else in the world after you finish your time teaching in Thailand, or you're unsure whether you'd like to do another semester, is always an idea. And then there's 2 other companies that I can recommend that other people have used. They are Thai companies for insurance. One of them is called Tune, Tune, and the other one is called Luma, Luma. They can also help you out with some more flexible insurance dates.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll look into it.
If my insurance in South Africa allows that sort of coverage, that amount that you guys request,
Yep.
I can still keep that insurance, right? I don't have to go through any other company in Thailand or anything like that, just so long as they cover that amount for a year, let's say.
Is it travel insurance or is it your personal insurance? It's travel insurance?
Yeah, it's my personal insurance, but they also provide travel insurance for me, and we just have to kind of tell them where it's for. So for example, like Thailand, and then they provide the amount that we need. So I could keep that.
That sounds fine. As long as they can provide a document saying it's travel insurance, it has your name on it, it has the date you purchased or started it, and the day that you are going to end it or it expires, and also that it covers you for COVID-19 medical costs up to 50,000. If you don't have this particular document, please ask for it from your provider, because a lot of people have submitted a receipt or the wrong pamphlet or something that doesn't show their name or doesn't show the expiry date or doesn't mention COVID-19 into the Thailand pass system, and they get denied, which can add on up to double the amount of time to receive your Thailand pass, and you might miss your flight. So just make sure that that document covers everything it needs to show, and the Thailand pass system will remind you what it needs to show. It's better to always have more than less to submit to the Thailand pass. Just give them everything and they can't deny you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today. We will be posting both of these recordings to the Facebook group and sending them out. They are the same, ultimately, the first section, but I highly recommend to listen to the questions and answers from the previous group as well. We'll be sending out this very soon as it transforms into a YouTube format, so you can have a look. And as always, if you have any questions you need answered or you're worried about anything, please let Gib and myself know anytime. Thanks so much for joining today, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
It's
much.
been really helpful. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.